Greetings, curious minds, and welcome to Dr. Wonderworks, the channel where we unravel the mysteries of the past. Today, we're embarking on a thrilling journey through time to explore 10 historical facts that sound so utterly unbelievable, you'll swear they were plucked straight from the pages of fiction. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and get ready to have your minds blown as we delve into the top 10 historical facts that sound made up, but are in fact totally true. Our first stop takes us to the land of sunshine and chippies, Australia. But instead of kangaroos and koalas, our story features a more formidable foe, the emu. Picture this, 1932, Western Australia. Farmers are facing an agricultural crisis, their fields overrun by hordes of emus, those large flightless birds with a penchant for crops. Desperate times called for desperate measures, and the Australian government, in all its wisdom, decided to declare war on emus. Armed with Lewis machine guns, soldiers were deployed to combat the feathered fiends. The war lasted for weeks, with the emus emerging victorious, proving that sometimes nature just can't be tamed, not even with machine guns. Fast forward to 1518, and our journey takes a bizarre turn in Strasbourg, where history witnessed one of the strangest epidemics ever recorded, the dancing plague. Imagine a city gripped by an uncontrollable urge to dance. It began with a single woman, Frau Trophea, who took to the streets, her body swaying and convulsing in a dance that wouldn't stop. Within days, dozens, then hundreds joined her, their bodies moving frenetically day and night. Theories abound about the cause of this phenomenon, from mass hysteria to ergot poisoning, a fungus that can induce hallucinations and convulsions. Now, let's fast forward to the year 1970 in Florence, Oregon. Picture a massive 45-foot sperm whale dead and beached on the shores of a popular tourist spot. The stench alone was enough to clear a room. But the local authorities had a bigger problem. How do you get rid of a rotting whale the size of a school bus? Someone decided that dynamite was the answer. What could possibly go wrong, right? On November 12, 1970, history witnessed one of the most spectacularly misguided attempts at animal disposal ever conceived. The resulting explosion showered onlookers with chunks of blubber and whale flesh, sending a rain of putrid debris over a wide radius. Needless to say, the experiment was deemed a whale of a failure, leaving behind a stench that lingered for weeks. Our next stop takes us to the hallowed halls of the Vatican, where we encounter a tale so bizarre, so macabre, it could only have happened in the Middle Ages. In the year 897, Pope Formosus, dead and buried for 7 months, was put on trial by his successor, Pope Stephen VI. You heard that right, a dead pope exhumed and dressed in papal vestments was forced to stand trial for crimes against the Church. This macabre spectacle, known as the Cadaver Synod, was the culmination of political rivalries and power struggles within the Church. With a deacon appointed to speak for the deceased pontiff, Formosus was accused of perjury, violating canon law, and coveting the papacy. The trial was a sham, with Stephen VI seeking to humiliate his predecessor and solidify his own position. In a gruesome display, Formosus's corpse was found guilty, stripped of his papal vestments, and his body was dragged through the streets of Rome. From the hallowed halls of the Vatican, we travel to the dusty border between Greece and Bulgaria, where a stray dog ignited an international incident that would go down in history as the War of the Stray Dog. It all began in 1925, when a Greek soldier's dog strayed across the border into Bulgarian territory. The soldier, in hot pursuit of his canine companion, was shot and killed by Bulgarian border guards. This seemingly insignificant event sparked a chain reaction that quickly escalated into a full-blown conflict between the two nations. Greece, outraged by the soldier's death, invaded Bulgaria, leading to a week of fighting and the deaths of over 50 people. The League of Nations intervened, condemning Greece's actions and ordering them to pay reparations to Bulgaria. Hold on to your hats and prepare for a sticky situation as we journey to Boston, Massachusetts in 1919, the year a wave of molasses, yes molasses, wreaked havoc on the city. Imagine a towering tank filled to the brim with 2.3 million gallons of molasses suddenly bursting at the seams. That's precisely what happened on January 15th when a storage tank owned by the United States Industrial Alcohol Company exploded, unleashing a torrent of sticky, sweet doom upon the unsuspecting streets of Boston's North End. A wave of molasses, 25 feet high and traveling at 35 miles per hour, surged through the streets, engulfing everything in its path. Buildings were ripped from their foundations, people were swept away, and a deafening roar filled the air as the viscous tide wreaked havoc. The Great Molasses Flood, as it came to be known, claimed the lives of 21 people, injured 150 more, and caused extensive property damage. The disaster left an indelible mark on Boston's history, a sticky reminder of the destructive power of industrial accidents. Calling all beer lovers. Our next stop takes us to London, England in the year 1814 for a tale of sudsy mayhem that will have you saying cheers to disaster preparedness. Imagine a wall of beer, 323,000 gallons to be exact, surging through the streets, engulfing homes and washing away everything in its path. That's precisely what happened when a massive vat at the Mew & Company brewery ruptured, unleashing a tidal wave of porter ale upon the unsuspecting St. Giles Rookery neighborhood. The London beer flood, as it came to be known, was a disaster of epic and rather intoxicating proportions. Homes were destroyed, lives were lost, and the streets of London were transformed into a frothy, beer-soaked mess. The brewery, held liable for the disaster, faced financial ruin, and the incident led to stricter safety regulations for large vats and containers. The Battle of Caransebes, the army that fought itself. Our next stop takes us to the battlefields of 18th century Austria, where we encounter a military blunder so colossal, so utterly absurd, it will leave you shaking your head in disbelief. Picture this. The year is 1788, and the Austrian army, a formidable force in its own right, is engaged in a tense standoff with their Ottoman rivals. As night falls, a contingent of Austrian soldiers, weary from a long day's march, decides to quench their thirst with a bit of schnapps. What began as a harmless attempt to procure some liquid courage quickly spiraled into a comedy of errors, fueled by darkness, confusion, and a healthy dose of alcohol. As the story goes, a group of cavalrymen stumbled upon the schnapps-drinking infantrymen, mistaking them for the enemy. Words were exchanged, shots were fired, and before long the entire Austrian camp was engulfed in a chaotic free-for-all. The Battle of Caransebes was a resounding victory for the Ottomans, who arrived on the scene 2 days later to find the Austrian army decimated by their own hand. The Tunguska event, the day the sky exploded. Hold on tight as we journey to the remote Siberian wilderness in 1908, where a mysterious explosion rocked the planet, leaving scientists baffled for decades. On the morning of June 30th, a blinding flash of light, brighter than the sun itself, illuminated the sky over the Tunguska River basin. A shockwave estimated to be 1,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima, flattened trees over an area of 800 square miles, knocking people to the ground hundreds of miles away. The leading theory is that a meteoroid, estimated to be about 120 feet in diameter, exploded in the atmosphere, releasing energy equivalent to 185 Hiroshima bombs. The Tunguska event serves as a stark reminder of the destructive power of space objects and the importance of planetary defense. The affair of the diamond necklace, a scandal that rocked 18th century France. Our final stop takes us to the opulent court of King Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, where a scandal involving a diamond necklace, a con woman, and a case of mistaken identity would rock the French monarchy to its core. In 1784, Jean de la Motte, a cunning adventuress with a grudge against the Queen, hatched an elaborate plot to defraud the crown jewelers of a priceless diamond necklace. Posing as a confidant of the Queen, de la Motte convinced Cardinal Rohan, who was eager to regain favor with Marie Antoinette, to act as her intermediary in purchasing the necklace. Through a series of forged letters and a nighttime rendezvous with a prostitute impersonating the Queen, de la Motte managed to convince the Cardinal that he was acting on behalf of Marie Antoinette. The necklace was delivered to de la Motte, who promptly broke it apart and sold the diamonds. When the jewelers went to the Queen to collect payment, the truth was revealed and the scandal exploded. And there you have it, folks. 10 historical facts that sound so unbelievable they could be straight out of a movie script. From exploding whales to dancing plagues and armies battling themselves, history is never short on surprises. If you enjoyed this wild ride through the annals of time, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to Dr. Wonderworks for more mind-blowing content, and share this video with your friends.